our semi-main event for today. Team Genesis taking on Fil-Nation Select New Zealand Totara. 7th game for Manila Live 2026 here inside Gameville Ballpark Court number 1. Baron Mercado covering the action. And we have an amazing game day today. Yesterday we had an 8-game schedule. Today we had 2 close games. One that went into overtime and the other one was decided at the free throw area. And now we see Team Genesis, who were victorious on their last game against a Bacolod Taitung of all teams. It was the Seth Guarinos led squad taking on Genesis, where Genesis led by, of course, there's Sky Hazul there. His dad, Coach RJ Hazul, is a part of this team. Again, the head coach of this team, I should say, getting that all-important victory. Meanwhile, for this squad from Australia, they lost, I believe, on their last game against Batang Europa, 83-71. Can we have stories to tell here for Genesis if they win today? Again, for everyone's information, for you to qualify to the next round, you need to be part of the 11 teams, the top teams of 11 groups here, from groups A to K. That is our grouping here, needing to be at the top of your team for you to qualify to the Sweet 16. The top 11 teams will qualify, and the next 5 will be chosen, the second best finish squad. So for these teams to get an easy access into this game, or into the next round, I should say, they need to qualify, and they need to be at the top of their team. But for Team Genesis, they won their game yesterday against Bacolod Taitung. If they win today, they will face Batang Europa. So that will be a good contest. Meanwhile, for New Zealand, they need to win today for them to have a shot at that second best place squad. And so far, they are up here by 2. New Zealand wearing their white jersey, red jerseys for Genesis. As at the line, that is Lagahit, looking to finish and gets that first free throw to fall. Again, we are live inside Gameville Ballpark Arena. We are also live from this YouTube channel of us. So that free throws by Lagahit makes it work. 6-3 is the score here. Genesis, as a Divina Gracia, will start off the play here. Okay, guys wearing red, De La Rosa calls for a play. Referees on the other side blew their whistle as Dionisio was looking to make some space, but San Mocte was sticking to him on that possession before the referees called that whistle. A 3-6 start for Team Genesis as they have the possession. Will look to make things work. Banate on the left side. Door was shut. They send it from the outside, and it's in for Dionisio. That's the first 3-point shot for this game as Genesis. Dionisio scoring on that play. Almost a steal. Dionisio takes that ball. Ball is still in play. Here's Lagahit looking to use glass. Didn't fall. Divina Gracia brings the ball down here with 7 minutes 37 remaining. Looks to make this pick No call on that offensive foul. Swings it in the middle this time. Spins, hesitates, shoots, hits the board right there was Wang. And now on the run, looking to make some finish is Lagahit. Tied at 6 with 7:15 remaining. And for Genesis, they need to win today so that their next game against Batang Europa, if they win on that game, they will be the representative for their group on the top 11 squad. If they lost, or if they lose today, I should say, they will need to work extra hard and pray that they will be one of 5 second best placed teams to be chosen to qualify on the next round. 6:44 remaining. Jumper is off the mark. Rebound. That won't go on. That end one was Mendoza. But was able to be on that position, looking to make some big plays. 6:36 remaining in our opening quarter. Mendoza at the line will knock down the first. Second free throw incoming. Again, 3:36. Fil-Nation Totara from New Zealand. They sink that second free throw. So that goes in. 8-6 is the score. Bit of a slower start for Team Genesis. We all know teams coached by Coach RJ Azul really wants to make a run for it. Always loves to push the pace. And that time, De La Rosa was able to draw that foul. And this time looking to regain their lead here, or their share in this game. 8-6 is our score. Seventh game of 8. Again, enjoyed covering this Manila Live for the third time for the third time, I should say. First covering this league 2024. That was a semifinals day for everyone involved. Then last year I was able to cover the group phase just like this year. That's why some of the players here I am really familiar with. And it's nice to see those players really develop into better players in a span of 1 year. That goes to show the hard work of our players to get better. Mendoza couldn't complete that putback. A 4-on-2 break, stops on the dime. Couldn't get that basket to go. Divina Gracia fights for this possession. It is on the side of Fil-Nation. On that breakaway, high off the ceiling. That was Keddy sinking that layup to go, giving them a 3-point lead. A full court pressure being played here. De La Rosa from Divina Gracia. Dionisio hits that first 3. Can they hit their second? That one, it clings off the left side. Lagahit gets that rebound with 5:30 to go. Keddy sends it outside. Looks to attack one more time. What a finish! Bautista able to score on the left side of foot. No problem for Bautista. Ball is loose. It is picked up, recovered by Divina Gracia. De La Rosa making the drop pass. Stepping in for the shot. Too strong. Wang will get another opportunity. And here he is at the free throw area. (12-7) is the score. Final 4 minutes 57 seconds of our first half of action. Five-point advantage for Fil-Nation New Zealand Totara. Knocks down the first. Second free throw incoming to cut the lead here to 3. Wang too short on the second. A good start so far for New Zealand. Only lost by 12 points as Lagahit pulls up and hits that short range jumper. He has been playing well for his squad. Has at least 5 to 7 points, at least on my count. De La Rosa gives it to Divina Gracia. There's a backcourt combo. Nice pass inside. Sends it out. Reloads and shoots that 3. That is off to the right. Ball is recovered, falling down, and referees blow another whistle. I believe Wang will be back at the line. He was 1 out of 2 on his last trip. Let's see if he can make it up. (14 to 8) is the score. Still at the line is Wang. Gets that second or third free throw to drop. Same as the first one. I see here for Genesis, Euro has now entered this game. Will knock down the second, as well as Sky Hazul, the son of Coach RJ, now looking in and playing in this game. We all know he is one of the better prospects here in this under-16 division in the Philippines. Him and good luck Okebata, at least on that same air, but very humble is Sky Hazul. Almost has the same game style as his dad. Goes for that spin is Keddy. Lagahit! Just too strong on that play. You wouldn't expect someone with the size of Lagahit to really muscle his way in. But that time, he uses his length and that deceivingly strong build to sneak that basket as he looks to complete this end one opportunity. Couldn't sink that free throw. Euro secures that rebound. Sky Hazul now is on the left side. Nice finish for his first 2 points. 16 to 12 is our tally for our opening quarter. Lagahit has been playing well for Totara. Nice give and go play to his guard. Finishing that one home is Aguilar. Going to make some quick response. Sky was asking that Euro should have cut on the same side as his father here, Coach RJ was, but Coach RJ Azul was able to say that that pass was too far. 18 to 12 is the score, a 6-point lead for Fil-Nation Totara. They look to add more points on the board. Better defense that time. And referees will blow their whistle as De La Rosa was caught swinging on that last play. Referees will talk things through to see what will be that call. And if you are Genesis, you cannot afford to make those mistakes here in the opening quarter. 3:04 remaining with a 6-point deficit. .304 remaining. Still discussions here made by our referees. On your right, that is New Zealand Totara. On your left is Genesis. As the referees will just talk things through and give their final verdict in the committee's table. Let's listen in and wait for the call. Again, as we wait, would like to greet everyone. Good evening here, at least in the Philippines. It's 6:45 in the evening. This is our 7th game of today. We still have one more to cover at least for this game day. And tomorrow will be the end of the elimination round or the end of the group phase. So this squad's needing to play here. Offensive foul is only the call here. Luckily for De La Rosa, he was only called for an offensive foul. But that puts him second personal foul. Means he needs to sit, needs to rest for having that second personal foul with 3:04 remaining. 18-12, a 6-point advantage for New Zealand. Totara, they will have possession when we return. (18-12) after an offensive foul on De La Rosa. New Zealand will regain possession. Lagahit has a couple of points in his name for the 3. That is off the mark. Good rebound by EURO. He can be that spark for this Genesis squad. Usually part of the starting 5. Azul finds someone in the corner. That is off the mark on that last shot. A chance to run. Aguilar won't drop that floater. Fighting for that rebound. Good security right there on that board. Coming in for Genesis. Here's Sky. Azul drops it in. And one opportunity. Castro was ready for that handoff. Always a threat to score is Sky Azul. But found a better chance as Castro was just in sync with Sky on that last move. With 2 minutes 20 remaining in our opening quarter. Misses on the bonus. EURO secures that rebound. Could it complete that attempt? New Zealand will have possession after that board by Rian Cabantog, one of the twins here for, or one of the brothers, I should say, the twins for this New Zealand Totara squad. A jumper stepping in. That is off the mark for Keddy. Another shot as Rian will be at the line. So Rian is number 31. Rian is number 32. So this time Rian will now be shooting his first free throws for New Zealand. Totara knocks down the first one. Gets that swish. One more time. High looping shot. Lagahit secures that ball. Shoots from the corner. Overcooks that one. Rian couldn't complete his 3-point conversion right there. And now on the run. Same play. Referees call a violation. Again, Sky Azul has made that play at least 3 times already. But an offensive foul will be called on EURO. A minute 35 remaining. They look to complete or finish this first quarter on a high note. Talking about Totara. Going to settle in. Here's Rian Cabantog. Sends it to Lagahit. Breaking that cross. Good defense. Azul secures that steal. Now on the run. head down for that strong attack. What a finish by Castro. 16-19 is our tally here as we approach the final minute of our opening quarter. New Zealand looking to secure their first win. Lagahit. What a quarter, what a start for the big man right here. Getting that basket, getting those possessions to go for his squad. 21-16 is our score. Final 44, nice find. Here's Sky Hazul. 4 points for Sky. Nice recognition on that last play by Diwa. Finding Hazul, here's Yoro. Was called for an offensive foul. Hounding Aquino and almost a steal. Hazul was ready to scoot one and run that inside for that finish. What the pass was a bit too far for his liking, but they will get a possession here with 26.1 seconds remaining. 21-18. 26 seconds remaining here. Sends it out, goes for that drive. That floater won't fall as 2 free throws will be shot here by Rosete. Will be called for that foul is Negler. Or so Snelgar, I should say. Knocks on that opportunity but didn't answer. Snelgar was called for that foul. 19.5 seconds. Rosete couldn't complete his strip. Ball is tapped. Referees will point on the side of New Zealand Totara. 18 seconds remaining. 3-point lead for New Zealand. They look to break this defense. Almost a steal by Yoro. Final 10 seconds to go. Nice steal from behind. Yoro with 7 seconds. Forward pass. Sky Hazul. 6 points for Sky. Couldn't get this shot off. And the Genesis has able to reduce the lead here to a single point. 21-20 is our score with Fil-Nation New Zealand Totara up by 1, 21-20. Second quarter action will begin after this break. As we return to the action here, of course presented by Omni Lights. Right side, you see New Zealand enjoying a 1-point lead, 21-20. On the left, Coach RJ Azul and Genesis was able to cut into this lead here. Only a 1-point lead for them, 21-20, as we are just moments away to start our second quarter for Manila Live 2026. Can still inside Gameville Ballpark in Mandaluyong City. Court number 1, Baron Mercado covering the action. And before we get into the details of this game on the first quarter, let us first thank our sponsors: SM Supermalls, Swish App Live Stats, SBP Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. Our official game ball is Molten, Smart, and the aforementioned Omni Light, Pocari Sweat, Aerosports Center, CCF, and Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagle Gym inside Ateneo de Manila University for our venues, and of course Gameville Sportwear and Gameville Ballpark. Thank you so much for helping this Manila Live 2026 to happen, as Rian has entered the game. The Twins are now in the game here for the first time, so that's Rian Kabantog. Missing on the last shot was Rian, but they forced a turnover there. You see Sky had 6 points in the opening quarter. For Fil-Nation Totara, it was Lagahit really dominating on that paint. Rian for 3, couldn't call glass. Good box out, rebound secured by Genesis, and they still look to have the lead here, the first taste of the lead in the second quarter. Castro has played well. Has at least 4 points in my count. With 8:48 remaining. Just the start of the second quarter. Still both teams looking to score here. They still look to add more points as Keddy couldn't score on that basket. Sends it out. Rien for his third attempt. Goes for that flip shot. That is off the mark. Keddy taps it. Ball will be on the side of Genesis. As again, Keddy was able to sneak that ball. Was able to tap it. With 8:22, it was a back and forth action in the opening quarter. 21-20 is our score. Divina Gracia and De La Rosa really tried to keep up against the guards here of Totara. And speaking of which, a turnover by Divina Gracia on that last play. Castro was far to receive that pass. Guys from New Zealand will look to increase their lead here, as both teams still looks for their first points of this second quarter. Almost a highlight of a move by Bautista. That was Cabantog making that save. Keddy sends it. Couldn't knock it down, was Bautista. So Rian Cabantog and Rien still looking for their opportunities here. Speaking of Rian, he's the only one here. And Rian is subbed out. Bautista, I believe, replaced him on that last one. There was a whistle. I believe we will call a time with 7:32 remaining. Still, score hasn't moved in the second quarter. (21-20) is our score here. Still a single point advantage for New Zealand. With 7 minutes 32, both teams hasn't moved the needle yet. What they have been trying to change the outcome of this game. Almost a steal, falling down near the rim there as Keddy was able to score their first 2 points, I should say, for both squads. Came in for that from that defensive stop. 7 minutes 5 remaining. Looking to make that play. That was a Bernarte. Looking to pass it to Euro on that cut. But solid defense on the side of New Zealand Totara. It took us around 3 minutes for a team to convert here in the second quarter. Unlike our previous game earlier where both teams just shot the lights out. And they will complete that steal. Looking to continue the trend here. Goes through that bump. Wild shot. Bernarte secures that rebound. Divina Gracia once again looking to control the pace here. Now goes to his strong side with 6 minutes 43 remaining. Bernarte fake on that pass. And that's the play that they wanted to do. But a better read on the side of Fil-Nation New Zealand. Looking to score their second field goal here on that drive. Bautista with a finish. (25-20) is the score here with 6:15 remaining in our second quarter. Has entered this game is Banate once again. San Mocte is called for that foul. Mendoza has rejoined the squad here. Let's see what he will do after those rests. Bernarte once again looking for someone to cut. Banate. Pass was too tight. Good recovery. That's a steal by Mendoza. Just enters the game and now cruising in, fading away, shooting. And Bernarte was able to keep in pace and fight for that possession. Haven't seen Lagahit in this second quarter to establish that position, having a solid opening quarter, making it hard for this Genesis squad to really find that driving lanes. His presence alone has been intimidating so far for Genesis. So let's see if Bernarte can push him out of that zone so that Devina Gracia and squad can make something happen. Here's De La Rosa. He has 2 fouls. Nice pass. Bernarte couldn't complete that reverse, but that second serving is in. 25-22 is the score with 5:20 remaining. Bautista clogged lane on those driving attempts. Looking to go deep was Bautista, but saw how close, how clogged the lane in. Foul will be called on Arrigue for Genesis. So with 5 minutes 15, Genesis scored their first 2 points courtesy of Bernarte. Ball is still on the ground, recovered. Nice effort by Arrigue, a 3-on-1 break. Nice pass and the finish by Divina Gracia. Give half of that point to their point guard right there. Banate was unselfish on that one. A 3-on-1 opportunity, and they were able to finish and capitalize with 4 minutes 54 to go. Both teams was able to score their second baskets, but it took us at least the first half of our second quarter for them to do so. What a move on the other side. Bautista has been making some tough layups in this game. To find those tough angles. Banate to Bernarte on that 1-and-1. Nice read, nice play. Able to get that N1 opportunity with 4:30 remaining. 27-26 is our score. So Fil-Nation, I believe, has 4 team fouls. Bernarte couldn't complete that 3-point play, so we are still in the situation where Fil-Nation is up by a single point. Bautista has been creating for them, missing on that opportunity. Here's Mendoza sending it out for 3. That is off to the right. Fights for the rebound. Another rebound by Arrigue. He has been on the right place in the right time for them here. Banate looking for this Bernarte screen once again. Looking to operate. Someone needs to cut and move, but a better position on defense. Here's Lagahit with 3 man to beat. And he just uses his length there to go inside and just throw the foul. (27-26) is our score. Will knock down the first one is Lagahit. And now starting to be more involved here. His first points opportunity in this second quarter, but he sinks his first one. He has at least 8 points in that opening quarter. Knocks down both. 29-26. Lead has grown here to 3. 3 minutes 40 remaining in our second quarter. Looking to tie the game or still put it in a 1 possession or 1 point game here. As De La Rosa finds Bernarte. What an entry by Bernarte. He has at least 4 in this second quarter, but a beautiful play. Nice reverse on that one. Mendoza has been all over on that paint. Was able to find the right timing to get in that lane without getting that call. But De La Rosa, after suffering that second foul in the opening quarter, attacks the defense of Lagahit. And now he'll be at the line. Knocks down the first. Misses on the second. Bernarte gets that rebound and will have a chance to tie. After that, the De La Rosa missed free throw on the second. Number 6 for Fil-Nation, that's Bautista, who's been playing well. I believe that's his 6th, or I should say that's his 3rd personal foul for number 6. Bernarte. Now slowly this Genesis squad has been crawling for this game and looking to get into this lead here. But first they need to tie. Knocks down both. What a quarter for Bernarte. He was the Lagahit for this Genesis squad in the second quarter. Looking to make them dance is Bautista. Nice rejection. Wang just locking him up on that spin. Referees will call a whistle, and here we go again in this slow ball game as this referees calling for fouls here. Teams are getting too close to each other, and penalty situation for Fil-Nation New Zealand. Totara means free throws. A chance to take the lead here for the first time is De La Rosa and Genesis squad, with 2:38 to go in the second quarter. That's their first taste of the lead. That was too strong. Possession will go to Totara. Couldn't push them to a 2-point lead, but regardless, it is a good recovery on the side of Genesis. Trailing by 1 earlier, now they have that slim advantage, 32 to 31. There's a timeout call. (32 to 31 with 2:36 remaining in our opening half, our 7th game of 8. 1-0 Genesis taking on 0-1 Fil-Nation in Group G. Let's see what will transpire here as Mendoza couldn't hit that 3. Solid rebound, solid box out on the other side. I believe that's Wang getting that in. Better read on the defense. Now looking to push the pace here. Mendoza sends it on the left. All day to shoot. Clings on the right. Nice recovery. Genesis, they will push and try to increase their lead here. Banate gives it to Sky. Hazul giving off this handoffs for the squad as Dionisio has hit their first 3. Sky Hazul contributes with his 3 of his own. He has a 9 in this game. Looking to add more points on their name. Sends it out, looks to answer with an outside shot. Fakes, shoots, can't get that roll. Snelgar wasn't able to secure that point. Sky Azul once again. Dionisio has hit 1-3. Make it 2. Bank is open at night for Dionisio. Brought to us by Pocari Sweat. 38-31. Just like that, Genesis has been able to flip the switch here. Let's see how will Fil-Nation respond. That 3 was strong for Aguilar. With 49.9 seconds remaining. Mendoza was called for that foul. He had a good second quarter, talking about Mendoza. But if you look at the scoreboard, it's now on the side of Genesis as they look to score their 20th point here. 19th and 20th point, and at the line, Sky Azul will swish the first one. We end our first quarter 21-20. So it will be a 20 or a 19-10 quarter. Make it a 20-10 quarter. 40-31. Bernarte is the reason for this advantage, and Sky Azul was able to score this 11th point. Goes for that steal. Looking to protect that ball with 30 seconds to go. 4 seconds on the shot clock. They need to hoist this one up. Mendoza with a jab. Couldn't score on that 3. Rebound secured here by the guys in red. De La Rosa. I should say gets that one to Banate. Sky Azul sees no shot clock. Will wind this claim down. Finds himself open for 3. Dionisio couldn't handle that rock. Pass is too high, and that is how we will end our second quarter. 40-31. Don't know if they can hoist one off. Sky passes it to his father, RJ, on that last play. So it will be inbounded near the basket for Fil-Nation, New Zealand. So they will have an opportunity here to get one in. Waits for that shot. Didn't go in for Aguilar. Waited for that whistle. And we end our first half. Bernarte, Azul, and Dionisio making this thing work for Genesis. 40-31. We are at halftime. Start of the second half, 40-31 in favor of Genesis. What a second quarter turnaround for Coach RJ Azul and Genesis, led by Bernarte. Ever since he came into that game, has provided inside presence to counter his opponent inside. Lagahit for New Zealand. So let's see if they can make things work, or can they continue to increase this lead, or will we see more highlights for Bautista and company? A steal, a 3-on-2 break. Pass was too far. Good recovery on the defense by the guys from New Zealand. So we are in the opening minutes here. Stand by 3. Look at Mendoza just picking up the ball right there. Aguilar tried to score at the end of the buzzer, throwing up a foul. Referees didn't call it as Aguilar That is way off on that three. Beautiful rebound, reverse. That is our first 2 points. Bautista gives that one for New Zealand. Live here inside Gameville Ballpark. Court number 1 in Mandaluyong. Baron Mercado covering the action. First, or I should say second, to the last game for today. EURO couldn't complete that 3-point play. A chance here for New Zealand to make a run for it and score back-to-back points. Earlier on the second quarter, it took us at least the 4-minute 55 mark for at least these two teams to score their baskets. So far, we're seeing both of them, or I should say one of them, scored early as a Genesis still looks for their first basket here. Will be called for a foul was Mendoza. (40-33). 7:55 to go. Sky Azul looks to operate here with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Follow-up won't stick. Two red shirts fighting for that possession. Arrigue look to help Sky Azul on that last play with 7:37 remaining. Sky Azul has at least 11 points in this game. Has hit a three-pointer, almost losing it. Aguilar doing a good job just playing solid defense. On that last play, Keddy will now be at the line. Maybe too much dribbling there for Sky Azul. Lost that ball. Ton of credit on the side of Aguilar for New Zealand as they look to break this 7-point lead and trim it down to 5. Rolls that ball in for the first one. 7:20 to go. A relatively quick third quarter here. Couldn't get that second free throw to go. EURO has been absent offensively. Can this be his quarter? That time waited for the whistle, didn't get any. Mendoza looking to send it to Aguilar in that corner. Ball was tapped by one Genesis player. 7:05 remaining. They look to swing the action. Mendoza thought about that three, will give it to Aguilar. 10 seconds to go. Mendoza once again operates here, spins, extra pass, one-hand floater won't drop. A solid defense, good reaction time for Genesis to make those last second plays. Bautista couldn't make it 4 points. A lot of fouls call. This time it is on the side of Arrigue. San Mocte will be called for that foul. (40-34). Missing on the second, making on the first, cutting the lead to 6. Goes for this drive is EURO, sends it on the baseline. Nice find. Scoring once again is Rosette this time for a Genesis. 8-point lead. Nice tap by EURO. Now controls the last dribble, but maybe a bit too far on pushing that ball. Again, still looking for his shot is EURO. He can be that player for Coach RJ that can get hot quick and contribute for his team. Mendoza again, that familiar jab step that we have seen for him in the second quarter. They get that possession back. That was a smart play. Pushing the pace once again. Euro calls out for a teammate looking for a screen. Divina Gracia is also in, sends it in the baseline once again. It was shot. A 3 on the way. Good hit by Divina Gracia with 5:25 to go. Still an 8-point advantage for Genesis. Jumper on the way. That is too strong for Bautista. 5:15 remaining. Substitutions being made here by both squads. Mendoza sits, replacing him, I believe, is Rian Cabantog with 8-point lead here. 5 minutes remaining. Looking to shoot this 3. Better defense. San Mocte. That was a risky play, but better defense for him. No call on that one. A clean block from way downtown. Couldn't hit that 3 was Aguilar. This Fil-Nation New Zealand squad looking for their outside shots. And one shot, if that shot goes in, I should say, that could help them. But that time, nice fake from the corner. Divina Gracia swishing that one in. 44-34, a 10-point advantage. 4 minutes, 31 to go. After that basket by Divina Gracia, 10-point lead for Genesis. After a slow start as well for them, now having a double-digit lead with 4 minutes 25 here in the third quarter. Nice extra pass, was able to get that ball in. I believe that's Bautista scoring once again. Yes, it is. Cutting the lead once again to 8 points. Diwa has re-entered the squad. Divina Gracia, nice find. Bernarte off the bench, a bit cold, gets his own rebound. And a swipe, that's back-to-back. Good defensive play by San Mocte. Castro was also open on that last one, but Bernarte decides to take it on himself. But you gotta give a lot of credit once again to San Mocte. He has made back-to-back solid defensive plays. Was able to get that block from a 3-pointer from the corner and was able to make that clean swipe. So let's see if he can bring some energy here for New Zealand Totara. Ball will return for this New Zealand squad. (44-36) is our score. Open 3 for Bautista. Too strong, had a good line. But a better rebound by Divina Gracia. 3:35 remaining. Can they extend the lead back to 10? Fakes on that shot. Goes for that kill. Didn't go in for Castro. (3:15) remaining here in our third quarter. 44-36. Drops it off. Didn't arrive on that attempt by Bautista. That was a nice give and go play that didn't materialize. Castro gives it to Bernarte. Divina Gracia. They love to set that corner screen action, but that time it was read perfectly. Now on the run, recovered by Castro. Wasn't able to push the pace, was Rian. Middle is open. Divina Gracia sends it on the left side of the court. 9 seconds to work with. A lot of ball movement, but no shot taking for this Genesis squad. 2 seconds to go. Scoots one up. finds an open opportunity right there. What a move by De La Rosa. Had some thought on that last play. Let's see if that can give him more confidence. A miss by Bautista. Bernarte secures that rebound as we are nearing the last 2 minutes. Genesis, this is their biggest lead of the game at 10. Let's see if they can increase it with Divina Gracia and crew looking to add more points. Here's De La Rosa. Ball was too far. Divina Gracia sends it. De La Rosa for 3. Couldn't hit. Another strong defensive stance by San Mocte. Gets that defensive rebound. Kedi. San Mocte will look to drive. Looks to also pass it in. But the defense didn't react on that play but bumps on his way down. A minute 27. So not yet in the penalty. It will be a baseline inbound with a minute 27 to go. 46 to 36 still is the score. Rien gives it to Bautista for 3 and it's good. Lead is down to 7. A timely 3 by Bautista. Nice pass by Rien on the other side. Divina Gracia sends it in the middle once again. Banate. Ooh, a turnover. Nice initial tap by Kedi that bounces off Divina Gracia's fingertips. That is why they will have this possession. Final 62 seconds remaining. Bernarte will sit. Wang will come in. He played a solid defensive game in the opening quarter. Coach RJ looking for some long defenders in his squad with 57 seconds remaining. Rien stepping back, shooting the 3. That is off the mark. Another opportunity for the guys in white. Bautista sends it in the corner. Now goes to drive. Shoots. Too strong. Castro now will lead the break. A 3-on-2 finish. Nice defense. Again, that's Rien Cabantog this time. Stopping that layup attempt. 46 to 39. Still a workable 7-point lead here with 36.4 seconds to go. Banate is open on the middle. This time finds a better option. Grazes the rim on that one. Almost a turnover. Will give Totara a chance to cut this lead. Rien will turn the ball away. Couldn't find San Mocte on that pass with 21.2 seconds remaining as we are heading into the fourth. Let's see if Genesis can be the last team to score, or will we see one more stop for Fil-Nation. That is almost a steal on their side. Kedi has been really active on those steals with 13.6 seconds to go. Timeout is called here. Let's see what will happen here. Genesis will call for time. Coach RJ will fourth quarter action. Genesis versus Fil-Nation. Totara. Genesis looking to improve their record to 2-0. Meanwhile, Totara looking to secure their first win and make things a bit more interesting in their group here in Manila Live 2026. Baron Mercado covering the action. That's back-to-back misses by Banate and Bautista. This time it's Rien for 3. He was trying so hard to hit those 3-point bombs, and finally in the fourth, Rien Cabantog was able to knock down that 3, cutting the lead to 7. Genesis loves that corner action, but they were denied on that opportunity. Castro will be fouled, shooting that layup. And like to acknowledge that last play by Coach RJ. That was a smart one, freeing up Banate for that near to the corner 3 with 9:05 remaining in the fourth. See there the coaching staff for the Phil New Zealand Totara squad giving instructions as they are at least down by 8 in this game. One more time. Knocking that one down was Castro. 51-42. First minute down in the fourth. Bautista couldn't make it back to back. Caught for that push was Rian Cabantog. One half of the Cabantog brothers. One getting that 3, the other unfortunately getting that foul. With 8 minutes 52 remaining. Looks to bring and increase the lead here. Banate was the last one to score from deep. Had an open look. Decides to pass it on the other side with 8 minutes 35 remaining. Goes for this pick. Banate. Pocket pass. What a spin. And that play, Wang. Earlier on, made some defensive plays and now making that basket. Here's Rian, inches closer. Get his own miss. Shot is up, won't fall. Last time, last possession I should say, didn't work on the side of Fil-Nation. Banate with a jumper. He has come big for this Genesis team. Scoring the last 3-pointer in the third and now hitting that basket early, making also that pass from Wang. Couldn't get that friendly roll. On the other side, ball is on the side of New Zealand. They are down here by 14 points, 5-6, 4-2 for our 7th of 8 games scheduled for today. $7:50 remaining. Aguilar also looking for his shot. There you go. Gets that drive. For Deuce, I should say, was Aguilar. 7:38 remaining. Red shirts looking to keep their distance here. Sky Azul has at least 11 points in my count. Guarded once again on that play by Aguilar. Tough screen, tougher finish by Sky Azul. Gonna give credit to Wang for that screen, freeing up Azul on the left side. Almost reading that pass, sending it out, pounds it inside, and a foul was called. Wang is not happy on that last play. But on that last opportunity, maybe a better play was made there. I thought they could have at least take that shot off the first pass, but was able to bounce it off. Lagahit has been quiet since making that mark in the first quarter. Let's see if he can continue to make his actions here. Talking about Lagahit, just unfortunately couldn't get those free throw in. (5-7 to 4-5). 6 minutes 55 remaining. Four possession ball game for New Zealand Totara. Still a lot of time with 6:40 to go. Couldn't convert. Second chance points by San Mokte. Again, he has done the dirty work for this Fil-Nation New Zealand Totara squad, making stops and now getting those offensive rebounds. A big three. Couldn't score His third one was Dionisio. Has hit one in the first and one on that second quarter. Aguilar swings it. Lagahit has been absent this time. Last second pass. Basket is in. Bautista has been doing a good job cutting on those lanes, if not scoring with this dribble. 8-point advantage, 56-49. Couldn't get that basket after that spin. Wang wasn't able to push the lead back to 10. Totara squad needs to convert here for them to cut the lead. Aguilar on that baseline. Lagahit couldn't hit that basket. Floater won't fall. 57-49 is the score. 5:20 remaining. Basket is in and one. Sky Azul. That was a much needed basket for Genesis. 59-49 is the score.
Sabi lang mo.
59-49. Knocks down the bonus free throw. 60-49 is the score here. Lagahit hasn't scored well in the second half. That time Sky Azul was able to meet him but caught an arm on that steal attempt with 5:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. 60-49 is the score. 11-point advantage for Genesis. Timeout is called. (60-49 is the score. 5 minutes 7 remaining in our fourth quarter. Still an 11-point advantage. Sky Azul was able to score earlier. Now continues to play well here, but it is a total team effort for Genesis. Again, second quarter, it was Bernarte. On the third quarter, it was Divina Gracia and Banate with a hint of Sky Azul performances there. And in this fourth quarter, it's just everyone playing well here for Genesis. Meanwhile, for Totara, Bautista has been really consistent for them, making those easy plays. Another drive, another finish. What a night for this Fil-Nation squad, driving into the rim. Bautista was able to finish that one. I assume that was him. Going in for the two plays. Azul couldn't hit that three. Rebound secured. San Mocte really has caught my attention for Fil-Nation. Just doing the dirty work for them squads here. Looking for that quick outlet, but the referees call a foul before that pass was able to be successfully made. Divina Gracia will give it to Sky Azul and squad up by 9, a 3-possession lead. Divina Gracia once again, they will look this pick. Sky Azul goes for that drive, stopping, shooting, and missing. EURO finally gets his hand on that ball from the corner this time. On to the right, good effort for a Diwa and a steal. Once again, it is completed by Mendoza. So Mendoza and San Mocte has been bringing in the energy for this squad. Both teams, you don't call, or they haven't called plays for these two players, but they always find a way to get themselves involved in the offense. And as a coach, you would love players just like Mendoza and San Mocte just able to do the things that other players are not be able to do. They work extra hard, and that shows in this game. Mendoza securing the first. Misses his second. Look at Mendoza looking to get that possession in. Rebound secured by Bernarte with 3:45 remaining. Look to swing the rock here. Euro has a lot of space to operate. Azul has missed his last three. Divina Gracia to Euro for the shot. That is off. Rebound secured by Lagahit. Only down by 8. Not far behind our New Zealand Totara. Fakes that attempt. Kedi to Lagahit inside. Just hits the bottom of the board there. Bernarte was able to grab that rebound. So we are nearing the last 3 minutes of this contest. Sky will use this horn action. Shoots in the middle. That is too strong. That's his third straight miss. Talking about Sky Azul. Maybe an off night in the second half for Sky. I have seen Divina Gracia and Euro, I believe, in this game here. Thought they were subbing out. Divina Gracia caught on that screen. Mendoza. San Mocte. Here's Kedi with 6 seconds to go. Jumper. Can't get that friendly roll. Look at San Mocte keeping that ball alive. But Bernarte was able to get that possession, and a steal here by the white shirts. Lagay turns and shoots. What a game by San Mocte. He has been the energy guy for Fil-Nation Totara. Genesis looks to put out the fire and prevent it from spreading. Only a 2-possession ball game. Divina Gracia extra pass in the corner. That is off. And a chance to run. Here's San Mocte once again. Looking to cut the lead. Will wait for Mendoza. Set it up. Give it to Mendoza. On that play. Extra pass. Kedi. Mendoza once again. Won't fall. Last touch will be on the side of Fil-Nation. A minute 33 remaining. That was a wild sequence on the side of Totara. One basket, maybe one stop on the other side, and a turnover. They turned it over. Talking about Genesis. Wasn't able to secure that possession is Rosete. I need to stand up for this one. A minute 20 remaining. San Mocte drives and scores. What a game by San Mocte. 56-50. 56-60. 4-point lead. Sky Azul goes for that wild floater. In and out. Bernarte puts that ball in. Here's Mendoza. Looking to score. Goes for that drive. Bautista sends it. A shot won't fall. Nice tap. It is back on the side of Fil-Nation. 48.9 seconds to go. A 2-possession ball game. Fil-Nation New Zealand Totara calls for time. Still a lot of things can happen in this game. Two-possession ball game, 62-56. New Zealand Totara has been at least in this game because of effort. Meanwhile, Genesis on their last, 4, 5, 6 possessions couldn't convert until that Bernarte basket that makes it a 62-56. Still a lot of time, 48.9. White shirts, they need to convert on this one. San Mocte has scored the last basket for them. Sends it on the right. Goes for that pick. Extra pass. San Mocte with the finish. That's big baskets for San Mocte. Genesis, they will call one more timeout on their last timeout play before we ended our third quarter. They converted on that one. Let's see what Coach RJ will pull off his sleeves here on the other side. Still alive is New Zealand Totara with 40.4. This time they need to play defense. This is game number 7 of 8 for Manila Live 2026. We still have one more game to cover. What an amazing game day number 2. We had an overtime game. We had a game that was decided at the last moment at the free throw area, and now on our hands a 4-point lead for Genesis that they are looking to protect. .4 seconds remaining. Coach RJ once again will look to devise a play here. Inbound, I believe, will be made on the baseline. So a full court pressure for Fil-Nation. Let's see if they can make a stop and cut this lead to 2. De La Rosa starts the inbound. Will receive the ball back. Clock is moving. Final 35. Hands it off to Sky. Azul. Guarded here by Mendoza. Divina Gracia rescues that play. Last touch will be on Fil-Nation. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 25.7. Euro will come in. Rosete will be redeployed back. 25.7. Genesis looking for a big basket. No fouls if you are Fil-Nation. And a steal on that inbound. Here we go. Fil-Nation needs to score here. Mendoza on that drive. Drops it up. Oh, sorry, miss by San Mocte. White shirts will still have possession. That could have been one of the bigger baskets here today, as San Mocte was able to find himself in good position once again. He has scored the last 4 points. 13.5 if you are Genesis. Looking to get this one off. Last touch right there was Bernarte. 12.9 seconds to go. A much spacious inbound here for the guys in white. Bautista sends it. We play on 10 seconds. Kedi to Mendoza. Shoots this basket. Won't fall. Rebound secured by Sky Azul with 2.2. There goes that chance by New Zealand. Penalty situation. Sky Azul will have a chance here to knock this down as Coach RJ is looking on. Misses on the first. Stone cold look by Coach RJ. Sky looks to push this one to 5. Knocks down the second with 2.2. And the Genesis worked their way into this game after trailing in the first quarter, having almost a scare here in the fourth. Fil-Nation Select gave them a fight. They showed up. Unfortunately for Fil-Nation, they will drop their second game. Genesis, if I were to summarize this game for them, they survived. 63-58, Genesis will make it 2-0 as they will face Batang Europa tomorrow to determine who will be marching in to the next round.